Good morning. Good morning. Mid-morning here on the East Coast of the United States. But wherever you are, I hope this message finds you well. I'm sending my love to you and looking forward to doing a reading for us for here. What's today? Oh, I never know what day it is. I actually stopped knowing during COVID. Even I'm not working right now because I had some back surgery a couple of weeks ago. But somehow I always knew when I was supposed to work. I was always at work on time, even though I never really know what day it is. I think about it. And I get to my appointments on time. I'm just not like locked into the construct of time anymore. I don't know. Maybe that's true for you too. It's actually pretty cool, right? Like we just kind of know. That's another way of developing our own intuition, right? Listening to our guides. Talked about this a couple of, right after I came home from surgery, from being in the hospital for a couple of days. Like that I was told, this is something I'll take up with my physician, but that was an outpatient surgery. But maybe like the week before, I worked like basically right up until the day I had to go out. But like the week before, all of a sudden I got up at like 1:30 in the morning. It was like pack a bag. And it was a good thing I did it that day, because if I hadn't listened to my guidance, I would have been kind of scrambling like later on. Listen to your guidance. I had some interesting ideas this morning about, again, where I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to be doing with my time, like that kind of thing. And all of it was just old responses to old behaviors, to feeling uncertain. Welcome to every day. I mean, yeah, we feel it so keenly now, but I think the reason we feel it really keenly right now is because we are actually getting better at dealing with uncertainty as a species. But we're being asked to respond to uncertainty with different. We need to start changing our thoughts. That came up in yesterday's reading. When the winds of change are blowing, a lot of conflicting ideologies, probably within yourself. Even inaction is doing something different, because usually we would probably do like some kind of knee-jerk reaction, which would then again kind of create more chaos than the response that we would have probably preferred, that would have been easier. So being patient is again that pause acronym, pause, for PAUSE, postpone action until serenity enters. I'm going to post a link to a short by astrologer Dorothy Morgan. She talks about Venus conjunct Chiron today. That's a great conjunction. I mean, Venus is conjuncted Chiron pretty frequently, because Chiron, oh gosh, the transit that Chiron has in a sign is like 9 years or something like that. I have to look that up, but it's a lengthy transit. So Chiron has been in the sign of Aries for a number of years, and it's at the final degrees of Aries. It's at the 26th degree, and Venus is conjuncting that at 26 degrees today. This is about, now one of the things I feel that, and through listening to other astrologers, is that the Chiron transits are more impactful now for us in terms of self-healing, especially right here in Aries, is because we as a species on the whole are living longer lives. It takes 50 years for Chiron to go throughout the entire zodiacal wheel, like through each and every one of the signs. And when, what was I going to say? But like, it's only like in the past, like 100 years or so, where the majority of us were living beyond 50 years with any kind of consciousness. So this particular Aries transit with Chiron and Aries has been healing our right to be on the planet, our right to exist, basically. And so we're healing the ways and then the actions that we do to express our right to exist. So again, going back to what I was saying earlier, so this Venus conjunction with Chiron today, it's up at 26 degrees. So again, remember those sixes that came up in yesterday's reading? Again, like receiving. So we need to be in a more receptive gesture. not always just acting and responding without really like receiving and kind of considering. And what Dorothy talks about in her discussion is about how this is kind of a snapshot of what when Chiron moves into Taurus, which I think it will do this year, is kind of a snapshot. Dorothy operates from the astrological perspective that Venus is the ruler of Taurus. There are some astrologers out there who believe Earth is the ruler of Taurus. But regardless, Venus is about self-worth and self-value, which are Taurian themes. And it's how we, what we value. And I'm going to layer in this from my perspective, which is this is a great transit because it gives us a snapshot of what, doing 6 next to an 8, like what are we going to commit to working on slowly. Taurus is not a fast moving sign, it's a fixed earth sign on this planet. Like how do we show up on this planet in that equality? Talked about the fire thing yesterday. Go back and listen to yesterday's reading. How finding equality, and we're not going to be going overboard in to extremes in our endeavors that we do on the day-to-day basis. Things need to have equality. They need to reflect our self-worth, and sometimes our self-worth is actually just showing up to the thing to begin with. I think Woody Allen was the one that said 80% of like success is just showing up in general. Right? So do we even like value ourselves enough to show up to begin with? And what are the things that block us? What are the things that need healing in order for us to show up and want to do our best? That'll, if for us, because we know we're bringing value, like knowing your own value is worth it just to show up to begin with, and knowing that you're going to add even more value. And when we interact together, there's your abundance. There's the abundance of Taurus. Thoughts that I've had, and I'll post the link to the video that Dorothy, the little short that she talks about. So what are the cards today for Thursday, March 26th? Awakening. Archangel Gabriel, messages. Look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So this is a major arcana, and this is the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Rodley Valentine. So awakening. Messages are coming in. Be yourself. No matter whether or not people are responding to you, it doesn't matter. Reach out to them. Let them be who they are. Give them their space. Sometimes our light is too bright, right? And that doesn't mean that we need to douse it or put it under a basket or any of that stuff. It doesn't mean any of that. But sometimes we might need to tone it down a little, but not shine anymore. But don't let that light waver. I think that's a really good distinction. Because sometimes when people are really fixated on fear and you're not, like sometimes you can be spiritually awake at a particular level, but somebody really close to you who you love isn't as much. But that doesn't mean that they're behind. Never means we don't go into that kind of spiritual self-righteousness. But sometimes, we need to just keep our candle burning brightly, quietly beside them while they get to have the awakenings that they get to have. Like, go back and look, like, would you actually take you wouldn't have wanted, maybe you would have wanted to change your journey a little bit, but really, that's really not necessary. That's a compare contrast thing. Again, that's just comparing again, which is not useful. Your journey is your journey to get to the awakening that you need. Look at things from a different perspective. Understand that everybody really is has their own life purpose to fulfill. And if they're not fulfilling you and on your timeline, that's me. And then maybe we should check how spiritually awake we really are. Right? Oh my goodness. I think it was Ram Dass who said, if you think you've reached spiritual enlightenment, go home for the holidays. because the people who we love the most are the ones who are going to trigger us the most, and maybe want to maybe hide our light as a response, like, oh well, it'll be better if I just. It won't be better. It's important to be yourself, even if you do it badly. So what? Oh well, then you learn. Archangel Gabriel. What was that page of Pentacles came up at the end of end of yesterday's reading, final card, and it's about learning how to do things differently. We're not going to learn unless we actually risk making mistakes. This looks like a risky move. He's kind of like hanging upside down. You know what I mean? Like, be risky. Go out there, shine your light, be gracious. How about be gracious and expect nothing back, knowing that you're good, you're enough. And have the best intentions, knowing that your intentions are good. Somebody else's response to you doesn't mean that your intentions weren't good. Like, take that moment to be introspective. Shine the light on your own motives and intentions. That's what came up in yesterday's reading as well. So awakening, major arcana. There's a great awakening. There's a great healing. Even though things may be going slow, healing takes time. Let people take their time. 5 of Fire, competing goals, bothersome detail, conflict with others. So yeah, you might feel really passionate about something, but somebody else is just on a different page. That's okay. That doesn't mean you throw up. No book burning here. We're not excluding other books or other perspectives here. Again, look at things from a different. Don't exclude perspectives. Let it, maybe we use it to light our wands and then draw in more information, more people. But this is a 5 of Fire. It's just competing goals. It's just a different perspective on how we're going to get there or how we want to move forward. But it's important to be yourself and let other people be them. It may feel like, oh, no, there's a blockade. Again, this is only a temporary standstill. Even though this is a major arcana, in this particular deck, this suggests a temporary standstill. Keep doing what you're doing on an everyday basis that fulfills you, that wakes you up, that gets you going. I come on. One of the things I love about getting up, not working, is because I have plenty of time to do these readings. Oh, another thing that came up, my sister sent me a birthday card. We're alike but different. We're alike but different. But that doesn't mean we can't get along. We're still the same. We're still human beings. Every human being wants care and love. That's a common goal. Everybody wants that out of their relationships. You want that from your work projects. You want your work to be fulfilling. Find the common goal and work forward from there. Let's let the common goal be that single flame. What's the common goal? Oh, you want to communicate better with people around you. What do I need to do that? Oh, well, I want this person to participate with me, but they're not really. But I really like what this piece of this body of work, this method is telling me about how to do that. So I'm going to keep doing it for me. That's another thing that came out of yesterday's reading. We're doing things because we know that it's the right thing for us. And if it's the right thing for us and we really feel like it's a path of growth, that's going to benefit everybody around you no matter what, because it's working for you and you're going to turn that into a larger, again, that self-value. It's bringing value to it's bringing value to bear on all of your situations, all of your endeavors, anything that you're working on. Taurus is the work that we do in the world. This is also the card of Pisces. This is actually also this is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. This is Mercury in Pisces is direct now, as we know. It started to actually start its forward movement, but it's in Pisces, so it won't go blasting. But we're going to continue to get clarity of thought to help clear up some of this stuff that's going on. And then we have two cards that come up here at the bottom that came up last. One is life experience, This is the Tower card in the traditional tarot with Archangel Chamuel, and the Eight of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So remember, these things could be happening around you. Something could be falling apart, but it's, you know, it's falling apart so something else can come and take its place, or some better approach. You know, if you keep coming up into against this, you know, again, just keep doing. It's important. The first card is it's important to be yourself. We can't keep going back to versions of ourselves that we used to be, because too much life experience has happened. You're not this person anymore, or whatever. Too much has gone on. You're different. And so, you know, in these situations, you're going to insist on, you know, your commitments. And 8 again is a commitment. Again, that nets that 2 and 6 of the degree in Aries, where Venus and Chiron are meeting, it nets to an 8. It's the 26th degree. All of our commitments are, you know, we have to be, you know, spiritually and emotionally fulfilled by it. And if these things are not, then, you know, stop insisting that they be something that they're simply not, and let it be washed away, and keep moving towards the things that do spiritually fulfill you. You know, you may get a lot of pushback and things fall apart, but you know what? It will come back in a different, better, more appropriate form. Bottom of the deck is 3 of Water. Yeah. So celebrations, like, you know, that dolphin has been coming up for me today. Wedding, graduation, birth announcement, need to have more fun. Yeah. Just get out, enjoy your own life. What's the crystal card? I've got the tarot of gemstones and crystals again today. What's the crystal that can support us? Yesterday, the rhodochrosite card came out. That's the Page of Cups in this deck, but the crystal was the rhodochrosite, and that is a crystal of self-love, self-healing, self-worth. What's the crystal that we have for everybody to work with today? Watermelon tourmaline, the World, another major arcana. Your world is being put back together for you. And that's the thing, like, we don't even need to worry about this kind of thing. The world is being put back together for you. The right things and people are coming in. And then the Ace of Earth, again, something's beginning. That came out as well. Watermelon tourmaline, if you have that, or just take a, you know, a little maybe screenshot of this and use this. Watermelon tourmaline is, you know, it's got the pink and green in it of the heart, which are 2 colors of the heart chakra. You know, the world, you've got, the world is what you make of it, but it's go towards the things that feed your heart. And it doesn't mean that we, you know, we just, you know, need to step away. And again, you might get some pushback. Or no answers or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you still don't have a right to make the world the way you want it. Keep doing the things that are putting together rather than breaking things down constantly. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, and hope you enjoyed this message. Again, like, share, subscribe, send this directly to somebody you think needs to hear it. And it doesn't even matter what date it is. Whenever you hear this message, it's the right time for you. If you want your own private reading, just direct message me on any of the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. Have a great day. I love you.